Don't worry, guys. The UK subsidiary of Silicon Valley Bank has received a bailout in the form of HSBC. Oh, thank God. All of this is going to be avoided. They bought it for £1. Not a pound of anything. Literally £1.40. I think that's the actual. Yo, I can't go to the store and buy a bag of no-name chips from Superstore for $1.40. And they bought an entire banking subsidiary? Holy, this is not good, folks. Not good at all. Banking giant HSBC said on March 13th that they will acquire UK subsidiary of Silicon Valley Bank after the US bank failed last week, triggering concerns about the fall off affecting the UK's tech sector. Oh, everybody's rallying around and getting support together for the failing tech sector. There's no end in that because all of their friends are involved. How funny. Santa Clara-based SVB failed on March 10th. With California regulators ordering the firm to shut down and appointing FDIC as the receiver. On March 11th, the Bank of England, the good Bank of England, the UK central bank, announced that SVB UK would enter insolvency. UK's Chancellor of the Exchequer, Jeremy Hunt, warned that a collapse of SVB UK would pose a serious risk to the country's technology and life sciences sector. How adorable! How adorable. You love it when the government just comes out and admits that they have a big partnership with private industry. Back in the day, we used to call that fascism or communism, depend on what specifics you want to get into, but it's a differentiation without a real difference. On March 13th, that would be today, HSBC UK announced that it would be acquiring SVB UK. There's a lot of letters there for £1 sterling. Oh, $1.21 US. I guess 140 would be the Canadian exchange rate. That's just, it's, yo. For the money that you can find in between couch cushions, the amount of change you walk around on a daily basis, you too could own a bank. Things are going great, of course, right? And to just piggyback off of yesterday's topic about having a woke head of assessment, it's actually worse than that, like considerably worse. Like I was pretty easy on the lady who came in January of 2023, Kim Olson, I think that's what her name was. It seems to ring a couple of bells, like these stupid little animated ads that are on the fucking New York Post. You piss me off sometimes. But no. She said, at least in the press release, oh, we got 30 years of experience and we come from a Japanese bank. And I'm not even going to begin to remember what the name of that bank was, but top Silicon Valley Bank executives worked at notoriously troubled Lehman Brothers and Deutsche Bank. Yo, Deutsche Bank. Oh, is that the place that canceled Trump? Oh, funny how all this stuff comes around. And Lehman Brothers, yo man, they've almost been bankrupt how many different times? 2 executives at doomed Silicon Valley Bank and one of its corporate siblings faced social media scrutiny Monday over their ties to notoriously troubled financial giants. The now shuttered Lehman Brothers, that's what I thought, they're gone, and the scandal-scarred Deutsche Bank. The employment records of SVB Kim Olson and SVB Securities Executive, Joseph Gentile. Oh my god, if you tell me that the Gentile worked for Deutsche Bank, I'm gonna laugh my balls off. Raised eyebrows on social media after the tech lender's rapid meltdown prompted fears of systemic economic crisis. Well, we'll check in with that in a second. The feds were forced to bail out SVB on Sunday to restore public confidence in the banking sector. Moments after Janet Yellen said there's not going to be a bailout. Well, we'll just call it something different. Kind of like we're not in a recession. We're just in a moment of inflection. Gentile serves as the chief administrative officer of SVB Securities, standalone investment bank wholly owned by parent company SVB Financial. But prior to taking that role in 2007, Gentile had a sort of stint as the chief financial officer for the fixed income division of Lehman Brothers Global Investment Bank. Oh, thank God he works for Lehman Brothers, because I like my balls where they are. Lehman Brothers was a Wall Street giant until it collapsed into Chapter 11 bankruptcy on September 15th. And you know where he went? to a place that would fail some 15 years later. Yo, and just when you thought Hollywood was the only place that you could fail upwards, the first implosion had a devastating impact on the U.S. economy and was a key factor in economic turmoil of the Great Recession. He looks like every banker ever. Like, if somebody was to ask me, okay, if a card in charades came up, it's like, rather, that would be Pictionary, because you don't draw in charades. You got it? Good. But draw a banker in Pictionary, that's the motherfucker that I would see right there. He is somebody that would definitely try to sell you a subprime mortgage for a house that you cannot afford. Or in his case, you know, help you out with that tech startup about a VR fleshlight. Oh, it's going to be going places. Oh, tell me more about your coal-powered sex toy. I'm sure that definitely won't overheat. How much money would you like? When Gentile left Lehman Brothers, well before the investment banks collapsed, social media users quickly pointed out the connection. Yeah, didn't notice that until, yes, I seen this tweet first thing this morning. It's like, oh wait, there's more. This is truly unusual. Unusual Whales tweeted regarding Gentile's background. SVB Securities pushed back on social media uproar in a statement, noting that Gentile left Lehman Brothers 18 months before its collapse. Yo, that's just like Kim Olson showing up and just rocking up to SVB to say, hey guys, I'm here to be the head of risk assessment. And then 2 months later, don't worry, nothing bad happened. Buddy, Lehman Brothers, at one point in time, a Fortune 100 company, like they were popping, okay? They were the go-to place for financial advice, and now they're gone like that. Shit like that doesn't happen overnight. 18 months? Yeah, all of the groundwork was, if it wasn't being laid, had already been laid at that point in time, and he would have been instrumental if he was the CFO at the time. Like, bro, come on. How do you gaslight people like that? Well, just tell them, oh my God, did you see Brendan Fraser won Best Actor at the Oscars, and Angela Bassett had a cross-faith. Oh, she should have won Best Supporting Act. I don't fucking know, nor do I care. But like I said yesterday, if you see a bunch of propaganda regarding the Oscars, don't worry, guys. Nothing bad's happening behind the scenes. Here we are. The firm also reiterated that its operations are separate from those of Silicon Valley Bank, with the Gentile having nothing to do with the latter's collapse. Of course, we investigated ourselves and found out that we did nothing wrong. It is unfortunate that a 6-month stint at Lehman Brothers as the CFO, their fixed income division, is in some way, shape, or form being connected. Yo, they had a fucking company that is collapsing in real time under the microscope of literally everybody. I don't know the first fucking thing when it comes to banking. All I know is this is a bad time to be there, and they're running this amount of protection for this motherfucker who's not going to have a job when this place collapses in about a couple of weeks' time. Holy son, there are more skeletons in this closet. But well, let's get through the statement. His 6-month stint at Lehman Brothers. You can hear somebody punching air while they're recording this message. As the CFO, their fixed income division is in any way, shape, or form being connected to the unfortunate events that have occurred at Silicon Valley's bank, of which Joe is not and was never an executive. That's nice. He was still a part of a collapsed enterprise. Yo, man, you goofy motherfuckers want to say that, oh, Trump University and Trump stakes fail. So what would he know about running the country? A little bit more than you fuckers. SVB Securities is a separate entity from Silicon Valley Bank, the commercial bank of SVB Financial Group, that was closed by FDIC as receiver. Yeah, they still work together. Bro, what is the governmental operation that oversees all of the banks? The SEC. What does that stand for? Security and Exchanges Commission. Securities, and then the financial side of that, exchanges. Separate industries, though. Completely separate businesses. Are you fucking dense? And there's the Karen. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. Separate statement published on the website. SVB Security said it was financially stable and will continue to operate as usual. Sure thing, pal. We'll check in a couple months' time when that place is tits the fuck up. Olson was hired as SVB's chief risk officer in January. Before joining the tech lender, she had a stint in the senior risk management role at Deutsche Bank during the Great Recession. Yo, so this bitch was right there in the thick of it. And then became the go-to lady to pull out a failing bank in real time? All right. 2017, Deutsche Bank was forced to pay a massive $7.2 billion penalty after admitting it lied to investors about mortgage-backed securities, the collapse of which was the major factor in the housing market's implosion during the financial crisis. Before her stint at Deutsche Bank, Olson was the managing director at Fitch Ratings. I haven't heard of them. The agency that makes determinations on the credit worthiness of investments and institutions. Are you fucking having a laugh? Holy! So the people that run the numbers to see if that you qualify for the loans goes over to one of the places that was instrumental in the global financial crisis, in the housing market collapse. You can't make this stuff up. It's a big incestuous party, and you aren't invited. But how are the markets living today? Not good. Definitely not good. $100 billion wiped off U.S. banking market in a single day, as former White House advisor calls it, the tip of the iceberg. Oh, hold on. Put on your swimmies, kids, because we're going to be in for quite a fucking ride. Bloodbath on Wall Street saw regional banks fall by 60% and the big four drawn into SVB's collapse contagion. Yo, man. But the adults are back in the room. No more mean tweets. It's going about as well as you thought it would. More than $100 billion. Fucking Christ. Of U.S. banks value today on a bloodbath on Wall Street sparked by the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Trading was intermittently halted on at least 20 regional banks as of Robinhood wasn't even involved in this one. We're just gonna pause to figure out what we're gonna do. Guys, what are we gonna do? We're totally fucked. Yeah, no. As a velocity of money forced our regulators to intervene. Fucking oof. Among the worst affected regional banks were First Republic. Yeah, there's another story that's out there that people were lining up outside of First Republic. I think that was one of the banks that we talked about yesterday that was like, don't worry guys, we have plenty of money, I think, don't worry about it, which fell by 62%. Western Alliance, those were the two that we actually talked about yesterday. Interesting. Which closed with a loss of 47%, and KeyCorp, which dropped 21%. The declines struck the street, despite Biden making an intervention minutes before the markets opened to claim that Americans have confidence that the banking system is safe. This fucking mush. Oh my God. It's Jim Cramer and it's Joe Biden. I don't know who's worse at this point in time. Like, Biden's just going to lie to your face. Jim Cramer's just a fucking retard. Former Trump White House advisor Steve Moore warned that SVB may just be the tip of the iceberg, exposing a broader weakness brought by Biden's $4 trillion COVID stimulus package. You don't fucking say. You just... Wait, guys, there's the financial process that's going on? Yeah, but I hear the money machine going... Brrr, what's that a problem? Brrr, yeah. SVB's sudden collapse Friday, the second largest bank ever to default, struck when investors frantically started withdrawing funds amid fears they can no longer keep pace with the Fed's rate hikes. Oh, so the Fed, having to compensate for Biden's overspending, ended up triggering this collapse. But don't worry, guys, Americans have total faith in the banking system. Fucking oof. Listen, I'm not one, you guys know, I'm not one for conspiracy theories or anything like that, but I also understand that there is a central bank digital currency that's on the horizon that rivals Bitcoin in some form or fashion. It's Fedcoin in the grand scheme of things. And what's one way to just go ahead and just astroturf and implement it going forward so that there's better control so that situations like this doesn't happen again? Collapse the banks, collapse independent finances. Like I said, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but when you can see something like this coming up over the horizon, holy! Moore told Fox News. I think it's important for people to understand how this potential banking crisis happened. It's not because there aren't enough bank regulators, as Biden is trying to say. Of course, the Democrats are always going to say, oh, we just need more regulation. The Republicans are going to say, no, we need less regulation. And guess where the truth is? Somewhere in the middle, but I'll be completely honest, it's always on the side that says absolutely no more regulation, because when is the last time that the government has showed up to fix a problem and actually made it better? They consistently make everything fucking worse. There's nothing that the private sector cannot handle better that the government hasn't taken over. Roads don't make me fucking laugh. Can't just keep getting away with this. No, you just can't keep doing this month after month, year after year, borrowing trillions and trillions of dollars. And so what happened? Because of Biden's spending and debt policies, it is not only did inflation go up, no, it's only like 9.8%, but you take a look at the actual numbers, closer to 15, maybe 20%. I can't wait for that update here. End of the quarters, actually the end of this month. Fucking Christ. But interest rates have gone up. Yes, of course. He said that the Fed had already raised interest rates multiple times throughout 2022 and had signaled that it intends to continue to do so to cool the overheated economy. Yeah, what did it go up? 1,500 basis points last year? Because there was the one boost of 75 basis points, and then there was another one of 50, and then maybe another one of 25. But there was definitely one of 50 and one of 75. 75 was in May, and then towards the end of the year, there was another one. And then right at the end of the year, I thought there was another one, or there was no announcement. So yeah, there was more than 1,000 basis points had gone up. That caused a lot of financial problems and these big banks as the interest rates go up. Harris added, yeah, of course, that makes sense. Okay, but many speculated the central bank could now become less hawkish, and the yield on the 2-year treasury tumbled. Regulators over the weekend stepped in to restore investors' confidence in the banking system, saying SVB's debtors will have access to their funds on Monday. To some investors, the Fed's decision next week will also hinge on inflation data due this week. Oh, that's supposed to come out this week. Holy fuck. Boy, this is going to be so much fun. This is going to be one of those ever stories, which, you know what, man? If money's going to be worthless tomorrow and we're going to have to go like those old newsreels from back in the 30s when Germans were showing up with all of their Deutschmarks and wheelbarrows to buy a loaf of bread. Is that what we're going to be doing? Is that what 2023 is going to be all about? Well, we'll just have to wait and see on this one. So, a little bit of analysis on the not bailout, Biden's rescue of pro-democratic SVB clients slammed. They're looking after their own. Yeah, man, this is all about tech money. And if you just follow the money when it comes to the tech sphere, where do they overwhelmingly donate? Yeah, say it with me. Democrats. Precisely. The Biden administration move to protect customers' deposit at Silicon Valley Bank is rankling critics, strange way to put that, who call it a gift to wealthy Democratic donors in the tech sector. Wow, that was exposed with Sam Bankman-Fried and the Ukraine strategy as well. Imagine that, just a big think on all this stuff as well. The debtors, including top-tier venture capital firms like Anderson Horowitz, oy vey, dem boys getting paid, and Sequoia Capital were bailed out. The equity and bondholders were completely wiped out as part of the rescue to state regulators and the federal FDIC. Those include big mutual funds that operate retirement funds for working Americans. Yeah, see, Joe Biden's just out here. He cares about working Americans, man. Vanguard Group, of course they do, owned nearly 11% of Silicon Valley Bank shares. Electa Pensions Insurance Mutual owned nearly 4.5%, and Franklin Mutual Advisors owned nearly 2%, according to public findings. You've saved the Democratic donors, but who are the equity holders? One tech insider noted retirement funds bought into this. Many are policemen, teachers, firemen, just trying to retire. Yeah, they're trying to retire by pooling together all of their money for all of these big Democrat mega donors to just go ahead and allocate and play the stock markets with. Like, what the fuck did you expect? Like, this isn't difficult. 98% of all political contributions from people who worked at internet companies went to Democrats in 2020. Da-da! See, I didn't make that shit up. I didn't pull it out of my ass like the way that these regulators were trying to. Oh, don't worry, guys. Everything's going to be fine. Oh, fuck, it collapsed. According to data from the Center for Responsive Politics, or yeah, like I always just run Open Secrets. Check out what Meta donates, check out what Google, Alphabet, all the different subsidiaries. overwhelmingly Democrat, and then they just pay lip service to a couple of different districts that they care about, either in northern California, some places in Texas. Just give a couple of Republican donations just to be like, okay, yeah, cool. See, we're bipartisan in our donations, but you take a look at the numbers. Apparently not anything that the bankers do in this point, because as you can see, another estimate from GovPredict analysis of Federal Election Commission data showed that people living in counties considered to be Silicon Valley gave nearly $200 million to Democrats. Fucking oof. And the representatives from California, well, the retiring Dianne Feinstein, the other senator who was handpicked by Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, like, come on now. These are all old money shit, for fuck's sakes. This is a bailout. And the account holders they bailed out are Democrats, a tech insider told the Post. Though he qualified his statement by noting the consensus view that the federal government did the right thing by pledging to make depositors whole. Well, yeah, of course, the right hand washes the left hand because, hey, you don't want to get salmonella on your hands. That makes total sense, right? Silicon Valley Bank is the bank of the Democrats. They're looking out for their own. If it was the Bank of Mega, what are the chances they would be bailed out? No chance, and no chance. That's what you got. No chance in hell. So yeah, man, we're not done with this story. Not by a long shot. $100 billion just fucking evaporates earlier today. Interest rate data is supposed to be coming out later this week. There's already panic based on all of those rises and rate hikes. It's going to be a fun one this week. Holy. So, until we get any new development, and with all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.